Hello everyone and welcome to Monday. We are back with yet another Dragon Ball Super review. This specifically is Dragon Ball Super Saga 3 review, or the Universe 6 Saga. As before, this will spoil everything in Universe 6 Saga, so don't watch it if you haven't seen it. Otherwise, let's talk about it. The first thing I want to say is this saga was absolutely everything I want in a Dragon Ball saga. It was perfect.
I would agree with that. I was going to say something similar. I was going to say that this is the best saga of Dragon Ball. I would say second only to the Namek saga from Dragon Ball Z, just because that's a very influential part of the series.
Nostalgic for you.
It's nostalgic, but it is also good. The whole we're searching for the Dragon Balls here on Namek. Frieza's also around. We're trying to avoid Frieza. Some characters die, and then it all leads up to Goku turning Super Saiyan and trying to get off the planet. I think that's still probably the top for me. But
this has been my favorite.
But my God, this saga came pretty close. It is extremely good.
It was very concise. Every episode felt mostly meaningful. And then there was just enough humor filler to make it fun.
Yeah. It's interesting because one of the problems that I had in the first saga was this is Dragon Ball because we're wasting time. And I suspected, or had hoped, really, that was because they were adapting a movie to an anime. And it seems like that may have been correct, because now this Universe 6 saga was extremely good.
Yeah. And probably because there were so many fighters, and it was all of the other universe fighters, so we got to see all of that, and all of our universe's fighters.
Yeah.
So.
There was a lot of... there's just a lot of characters in general because, they keep having... There's always some sort of, function.
Yeah.
There's always some sort of, group picnic or, we have to have a celebratory something. And because of that, we get to see Ox King and Yamcha and... So we get to see all these characters all the time. But we introduced even more characters. And I think the thing I liked most about this is that I was getting kind of worried. In terms of where does the series go?
Yeah.
Because Beerus, the Ultimate Destroyer, is here, and I'm oh my God, now Goku is going head to head with
a god.
And I'm where do we go? And then we brought Frieza back for 9 episodes, and I'm all right, but where does the show go? Where do we go? And I was worried for it, but this season, this saga, really put that worry to rest because it was extremely good.
Yeah.
It was everything that you want Dragon Ball to be. There was progression in each episode. There was more humor in this saga than there has been ever. Yeah. I think it was extremely funny. There were a few moments that were laugh out loud. I can't stop laughing. This is very funny. And also, and this is weird, this saga had 2 extremely memorable episodes, which is weird for Dragon Ball, because Dragon Ball, there are memorable moments in Dragon Ball. There's particular beats where you're wow, that was a good beat. But you remember the beat within the scope of whatever story it's telling at the time. You don't think that was a good episode. You just think, oh, when Goku said that line. This saga had 2 extremely good episodes, some of the best episodes in Dragon Ball history. And I think you'll agree with the ones.
I do.
You probably know which ones I'm going to say. First one, the episode where Vegeta fights the kid.
Yes.
Was when I saw that, I was this might be the best episode of Dragon Ball I've ever seen. From start to finish, everything about it was so good. And I was thinking about it after. I was very rarely is there an episode that you're that episode
start to finish
Very, very good.
Because if you want to tell someone to watch something like really meaningful within an anime, it's an arc. It's like, oh, well, this arc is really good, or this moment. But to say, oh, you could watch this episode and it's like extremely good.
Yeah, but it doesn't explain all of the history behind
Oh yeah,
the Saiyans on this universe and that universe
yeah. I'm not advising anyone out of
watch that one
context.
episode.
I assume that anyone watching this is like seen Dragon Ball or is just very, very willing to have things spoiled for them. But like, Dragon Ball Super is really good, and it showed itself in this saga.
What was the other episode?
Do you know which one I'm going to say?
I thought I did, but I can't.
The other one that I was going to say, and it's not for... I mean, it's still for story, but it's really for humor, is when Beerus and Whis come to Earth for the party,
okay.
and Minako is not supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
He's there, and Goku's like, we get to fight, and then Beerus has to be in the costume.
Everyone has to be like, wait, no, Goku, go change.
That episode is hands down the funniest episode of Dragon Ball I've ever seen. Not only was the situation funny, and I was laughing a lot from that, but like the moment where Beerus is in the air and then Piccolo and Vegeta go up and they're
It's when his tail gets out of the costume and he's like, wait, you can't look.
And then Piccolo's like, no, I think he's controlling me. And like everything about that, I was like crying laughing. I was like, this is ridiculous. But I think just in general, Super has been taking itself a lot less seriously.
Yeah.
And I love that because there's always been humor in the series, but Super is finally exploring that in a real meaningful way. And I am very here for it. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of humor to extract from the series. I'm glad they're doing it. And there's still serious moments, and I think that the saga struck a pretty good balance.
Yeah.
For that.
It did.
But yeah, I don't have a whole lot else to say about it other than like this was really good.
Yeah, it was.
And if this is a sign of what's to come in Super, then man, Super's gonna have a lot going for it, because Z suffers very badly from Dragon Ball syndrome, or really, I guess, just anime syndrome of, we have to waste time.
Yeah.
And this saga didn't, and I hope that continues as we move forward, but I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
And the next one, as we saw at the end of the last episode, is Future Trunks. So we get to visit Future Trunks again, which is interesting. Not exactly sure how they're going to do that.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
I don't know if we just spend time there or if like the heroes go to that future or something. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. So far, so good. Super had a good start.
Yeah.
It was just slightly rocky because I was like, okay, this is Dragon Ball, but it's really smoothing out. They've used the characters that I thought they weren't going to use. The end of that Beerus episode where Puar
turns into Beerus.
I was like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
The fact that they're still utilizing these characters with these histories is like, it's great. We also got to see Arale.
Yes.
Which...
for like a second when Goku was recovering from using too much energy with his strained energy muscle.
Yeah, and like on that note, I don't want to say that the saga was perfect. I could have done without the whole duplicate Vegeta thing. There's like 3 episodes at the end.
Yeah, but it was fun.
It was fine. In the world of filler, that's my least favorite. I like it more when like wacky things are just happening.
Like with Pan, like the episode before.
The episode where Pan is flying around.
Yeah.
I prefer that to a 3-episode mini arc where Vegeta gets duplicated.
But I did get to see Vegeta with a pacifier.
It was worth it for that.
Yeah, it was.
It was worth it for that. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. You can discuss Dragon Ball Super up to whatever that is. Episode 46 is the end of the Universe 6 saga. You can discuss everything up to that and backwards through Super and Z and Dragon Ball. We will be watching the Future Trunks saga next, and from what I understand, that one's a little bit longer, so it'll probably be a while before we do another one of these reviews, but we're watching it.
Yeah.
We're roughly like a third of the way through the show at this point, so we'll be back when we're back. Thanks for watching. Let's be back tomorrow, shall we?